countries wanting to join the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank have less than a week to do so. The Chinese-led organization will finance projects in and around Asia. Plans for the bank were introduced in October of 2013 when President Xi came up with the idea as a way to promote economic integration. 21 countries have signed a referendum officially establishing the bank a year later, and this month, 27 countries officially signed on as founding members, including the UK, which is the first Western country. Later on, Germany, France, and Italy also signed on. Australia and South Korea are said to be close. At least 35 countries or more could join before next week's deadline. Now, one country likely not to apply is the U.S. The U.S. looks alone after some of its allies have decided to join. Daniel Ryntjes has this.
Is this meant to be an election-winning?
When the United Kingdom announced earlier this month its inclusion in the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, a White House official sharply criticized the decision, exposing a rare policy rift between close transatlantic allies.
The United States is or has been isolated by this, I think, because it came out of the gates as not really appearing anyway to be willing to talk about all this, but just in opposition on the face of it to the creation of this China-led institution.
With several European nations, including France and Germany, announcing their inclusion shortly afterwards, media reports indicate that Australia and South Korea may be ready to do the same, while Japan is also considering the proposal. Some American experts are advising the US to join up. Others are skeptical it's politically feasible.
There have been some calls that the US should now shift and actually join the AIIB. I think that's very unrealistic. Congress is a major hurdle there. And I think to some degree AIIB is a wake-up call for the Congress in this regard. And I am somewhat hopeful that they would begin to take some positive steps.
The US Congress has avoided approving a package of reforms to the International Monetary Fund agreed upon in 2010, which would have given China and other emerging economies a greater say in decision-making. This has contributed to the momentum for the creation of the AIIB as an alternative financing powerhouse, which has in turn raised concerns about a challenge to the Washington-based World Bank and the Asian Development Bank.
Now we see a kind of middle ground proposed, perhaps a little bit late in the game, by the United States, which is to say, if the World Bank isn't a lender that meets all these colossal needs of Asia right now, then let's work with the Chinese to fill that gap.
The Obama administration could now lend support to the move by the IMF and World Bank to coordinate expertise and lending standards with the AIIB. But as US officials begin to formulate a response, there remain unanswered questions about the extent to which the Obama administration is willing to engage with this new institution. Daniel Ryntjes, CCTV, Washington.